Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomik.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Welcome to the Garden State.
Yeah, it's good to be back, guys. Hey, I was on Reddit the other day, which is...
Scary world.
Scary world. Yeah, I vowed I would stop going on Reddit a few years ago. Actually, it's probably more like 2016 now.
And you haven't since.
I stopped. But every now and again, I go on to look at different subreddits. And I was on the New Jersey subreddit. And it's an interesting group of people you got there.
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking about a podcast for... there's this comedian. I forget his name. Oh, what is his name? I should know this as a Jersey aficionado. But he started a New Jersey podcast. And they were all talking about it and how great it is. And I'm like, how the heck? We put in so many hours into this thing. Are we not known as a podcast? Are we only known as a TikTok and Instagram page, you think?
Well, most people know us because of our social media compared to the podcast. What's the comedian's name, though?
Okay, it's called New Jersey is the World.
Talk about we're on the list.
If you search New Jersey podcast, we're not even on the... Well, if you go way down, we're on the list.
How many New Jersey podcasts are there? Oh, my gosh.
There's so many, and we're like
Wait,
way down.
What's this ranking, though?
It's just Google's... I mean, it's SEO, I guess.
Okay.
We got to pay someone for SEO because we are low on the list. We probably have more listeners than a lot of these people, but we're not even ranked. So this guy he was in the movie about Action Park, I think, as well.
Okay.
They're Jersey aficionados. So I just found it to be interesting because Reddit's so random. People get into the weirdest things. The thing about Reddit that's so cringe to me is you can go on Reddit and you can figure out, like, someone will be like, hey, Reddit, what's a business that's just immoral and you'd never support? And then someone will be like, oh, like this cell phone tower company. And it's like, yeah, that's because Reddit has indoctrinated you to hate that thing. That's the reason I hate Reddit. They have their things that they hate. And they just know all the tropes to say. And but New Jersey Reddit's kind of cool. There's a lot of good info on there.
I find a lot on the New Jersey Reddit, but they also like luxury apartments and all that kind of stuff. So
Do they?
They probably don't like us.
They love luxury apartments?
Well, like one person complained about it the other day, and everyone in the comments was like, well, it's good because of this and good because of that. And I was like, okay. So they probably wouldn't like
What
our
were their
thoughts.
arguments for it being good?
I don't know. I stopped reading into it. A lot of comments. You can get really like lost in that world of Reddit.
I never enjoyed Reddit's way of organizing comments because it keeps moving over, you know what I mean? And then you start a new one. It's hard to follow for me sometimes.
You got to click on the top comment of that thread, and then it'll just collapse and you can keep going.
Yeah, it's actually pretty organized, Jim.
I've never been a huge Reddit person.
Yeah, I don't go on much. There's a few subreddits that are useful, but the New Jersey one is dicey, man. It's a lot of I feel like college age people too. They have the world figured out completely.
It's very interesting.
So, but hey guys, welcome back. This is a freezing cold February morning. We showed up at 6:57, in the morning right now. We're recording. And Jimmy, we were just talking about this weekend. We are jumping in the Atlantic Ocean for the polar plunge.
Oh, yeah.
And Jimmy was saying it's going to be like the coldest day of this week.
Yeah, it's going to be 50 degrees on Friday and then 36 on Saturday. Oh. And then next week it gets into the high 60s, 66, 67. It had to be
the coldest when we plunge into the ocean. It's just appropriate.
It's just that one day. And the same thing happened last year.
And it's going to be colder, right on the beach.
And I didn't tell you this, but it's also going to be really windy on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be. I saw 10 to 20 mile per hour wind, so it's going to be.
It's going to be awful.
Get ready to bundle up, guys, and.
I don't want to do that.
It's going to be awesome, though.
Okay, I think I'm going to bring a robe or something onto the beach, just so I have something to put on me immediately when I come out.
That's really
last year, I was
good
just
idea.
trying to put my jeans on, and it took forever to put my clothes back on. It was miserable.
Yeah, putting jeans on when your body's wet is not fun either.
Maybe some booties too, like those things that the surfers wear for their feet. What do you call them? I think they're called booties.
Yeah, they're called booties, I think.
Oh man, if I had a pair of those,
that'd
be a game changer.
How much are water shoes for men?
I don't know. They're probably out at Target right now.
Because the worst part, honestly, is not your body. It's coming out and your feet touching the cold sand.
Yeah.
Like
it just hurts.
Surprisingly, that was the worst part last year.
Okay, here's the reality, guys. Amazon has $10 water shoes for men. But do I want to be photographed?
No,
Yes, I was about to say, I want to
Wearing-
take a video of you wearing just your bathing suit in these water shoes.
Bro, I
You
don't
look
know.
like a nerd, dude.
I think my ego is too big to put those water shoes on.
But really exciting, guys. We have, as of right now, we have 18 people signed up for our team, the Garden State Plungers. So compared to last year, I think last year we had like 3 people on our team. Like this year we have 18. So very, very cool to see. And there's still time to sign up. If you haven't signed up for the Polar Plunge and you've just been putting it off, but you really want to come, or maybe you don't want to plunge and you want to come hang out with us, you could do that too. We're going to be at Seaside Heights this Saturday, February 24th, from 9 a.m. until we plunge at 1 o'clock. We're going to have a tent out. We're going to be hanging out with the Elizabeth Police Department. There's going to be music, food, giveaways. We're bringing some merch and prizes. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be such a great time. Last year, we had a blast, and we learned a lot last year. Now this year, we're ready to fully go at it. If you were on our team and you need some information for the day, follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting on our story exactly where we are. I believe we're going to be right next to the water park on that street. So I'll post some pictures on our
You'll
story.
see a big green tent, and you'll see a 30-foot flagpole.
Yes, look for the Garden State flag.
Look for the Garden State flag. It will be waving and the
It'll
10
be
mile
whipping.
whipping in the 10 mile per hour winds.
You better pray that pole holds up.
I gotta restrap down that reminds me of that PVC pipe I got on my truck, but I gotta make sure it's anchored good.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd trust PVC with 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Well, that's what the flag is sent in it's like a 2-foot long PVC pipe.
Okay.
They send to you that you could hold the flag in. So I'm more concerned about, I have like pipe clamps, you know, those things attached to my truck bed. I got to make sure they're really, really tight. If that thing fell over, we might make our own news story.
Yeah, we might. That might be a good news story. I was going to say that'd be pretty terrifying. It crashes into a car or something.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'm excited for this weekend.
It's gonna be a really fun time, guys.
You know, it's weird. It's a weird experience, the polar plunge, because it's weird for obvious reasons. You're jumping in the ocean in the winter, but I feel like it's when you do weird stuff like that, it's you remember it for a long time.
Yeah.
And also, you're doing it with like 8,000 people, which is so much. It's crazy. The beach is mobbed.
You see some characters, and that's the other thing that's amazing about New Jersey. I will say is just the type of person you encounter in New Jersey. You don't see them anywhere else.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
And
like there's a
It's
Jersey
a special
breed.
place. That's why I love Jersey.
But even like living here, I remember last year walking around and being like, where do these people come from? Like you don't see them like on a normal day.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
It takes a special person to plunge into the ocean, bro. Most of our friends are like, I would never do that. I don't want to go seaside and jump in. I'm like, you're a loser.
Yeah.
wow.
You're missing out on such a great time. It's all about the vibes. Who cares if it's cold? Have fun.
It's really about the memories.
I'm going to bundle up and then, you jump in for 5 seconds, you come out and you're warm again.
Yeah, I mean, people do the cold plunges every day in their little tubs. So
I bought one of those spinning wheels
yeah,
on Amazon.com.
I like it.
Like the 24-inch, like you spin a wheel and you can win stuff. So
Yeah.
we're going to have that with some giveaways. So.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little giveaway
trivia.
table. We can say we stole that from last year when we were at the
101.5.
101.5 had a little table, and we love our friends at 101.5, great people. But I gotta say to them, guys, your giveaway table.
I won a magnet last year.
There was a magnet, and then there was a magnet clip. You know, like the magnet clip your mom would put on the bag of chips from Costco.
Yeah.
Like you can magnetically attach it and clip at the same time. Like we're coming in hot with some actual pretty fire swaggy little things.
Yeah, we're going to have great gifts. So everyone could win something. Come through, hang out with us. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it's going to be cold too. So I would just say if you are planning to come, and I mean, you could hang with us the whole time. You could walk around. I'm definitely going to bring like a Tommy Bahama chair and just post up and chill out. I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a chill time.
It's going to be a kickback.
We're going to kick back. And if you want to still sign up, go to the link in the description of this podcast. It's the first link there. Sign up, join the team. All the money raised is going straight to the Special Olympics in New Jersey. Nothing goes to us. So it's for a good cause. It's a fun time. And there's still time for you to sign up. So head to that link right now and join our team.
So, guys, before we open up this mailbag and get into some of the news, what did you guys do this weekend? Anything fun? Any New Jersey specific weekend activities?
Yeah.
Valentine's Day weekend.
Chomik and I went to Sun Tavern.
Ooh, nice.
Got some Old World pie.
With the vodka sauce.
With the vodka sauce. Oh, so good.
That's my favorite.
With a side of wings, dude. That's like one of my favorite meals in Jersey.
Yeah, that's my favorite specialty pizza.
Yeah. It hits.
Like that's it.
Every time.
The Old World with the vodka.
You need to get
sauce.
the vodka sauce on it.
And their wings there are so sweet for some reason.
It's a perfect combo. You have the sweet, mild wings, and then you have the Old World pie with vodka sauce. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then one of the...
Well, that was also the day of the snowstorm.
Oh yeah, that snowstorm
so-
was weird because everybody was saying that was going to be a dud.
Everyone was ripping on us. They're like, "Oh, you guys are in the 3 to 4 inch range. We're not going to get anything. We're going to get an inch of snow." Dude, we got 7 inches.
Yeah.
Piscataway got Edison got like 10 inches. Like
Wow.
Central Jersey got
overperformed.
killed with that death band of snow that just dropped 3-inch per hour snowfall rates overnight, which is unheard of. It was a pretty historic snowstorm for parts of Jersey.
Wait, Sobo. So I see Chomik on Saturday, and he's like, it was like lake effect bands.
It was. The weather community was going nuts.
He's like, this is historic. We haven't had lake effect snow like this ever.
Josh is the biggest fan of weather I've ever met in my life.
It's so much fun. That's why I love snowstorms, dude. Like I went out Saturday morning, just patrolling the area. Dude, it was so beautiful because that was the most snow we got all season. So I had to enjoy it. And it was unexpected too, which is the best part. So many people woke up to shovel snow and they were like, I had no idea it was even going to snow. And there's like shoveling 7 inches. It was awesome.
Are you guys seeing this internet trend of people saying, if you're over the age of 40, don't shovel snow. You're
my
gonna
gosh.
die.
Yeah, dude.
What's happened to us as a culture?
Listen, my grandma, she's like,
You let your
what is
grandma
she-
shovel?
No, dude, but she just doesn't listen to anyone. She shovels. She's like mid-80s. And guess what? She's healthier than ever. And that's because I think she actually is fit and she actually doesn't just sit around all day and works.
Well, so here's the thing. So there's a lot of research to say that the combination of the cold and the exercise on your heart restricts blood vessels and causes heart attacks. But if you are in good shape, I think you should be all right.
I mean, just don't overdo it. Don't overwork yourself. Know your limits, right?
Yeah, I think take your time, or just get a snowblower.
Yeah, but if you're like 85 and pushing a snowblower, that might even be worse for you. It's kind of heavy.
I don't think I'd advise an 85-year-old to shovel snow.
Dude,
Just because
my family gets so my mom is like telling my grandma to stop shoveling and stuff because she's out there first, like on the staircase, shoveling 7 inches of snow. My mom's like, stop, and she's like, no.
Where does that come from? Do you think?
I don't know. It's I have no idea.
That's like that.
It's
Like
the old world.
I'm just gonna get it done, and I don't want to.
They just like to work. I don't know. My family just loves like hard working like that. I think no one just sits around on a snow day. Like all of us are outside. Like that's why I'm the way I am.
Yeah.
I get it from my mom. I get it from my grandma. They're always out doing things. I can't stop.
Well, it's fun to shovel snow. Snow is fun. I will say that. I mean,
most people disagree with that, but yeah, I agree.
I think there's something nice about when a snowstorm hits. You get out early, you clean, your steps, your driveway if you got a big driveway, and then you come back in and it's warm. You have some lunch. That's a vibe. That's a good
Nice
feeling.
hot cup of coffee.
A nice cup of coffee. Oh man, that's. But you're right. There's a lot of people that they hate the snow.
Well, like our friend Danny, he hates the snow because he grew up in Kearney, where the streets are tight. If the snow, you can only park on the street and the snowplow comes, he buries your car in snow and your car is buried for days. And like if you grew up in a town like that, I could see why people hate the snow.
You know who Danny reminds me of?
This guy, yeah.
I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I hate the rain and I hate the sleep. Man, I sure do hate the snow. Feet are froze and my toes are too. I hate.
I miss Hey Arnold, man.
Yeah, dude. The mailman in Hey Arnold, he hated the snow.
Hate the snow. I always chant the hate the snow.
Didn't you get like only like 1 inch, dude? Like up in like the cutoff was so sharp.
No, we got like maybe like 3 or 4 inches.
Because I remember you woke up and you're like, I showed you a picture. I measured like 6-7 inches. You're like, that's today. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Well, I think I was in bed probably. It's just like wow. But yeah, it's crazy how storm. I feel empathy for weathermen now. I will say that as well. Seeing you track the storms because there's no way to really know.
Well, you see our comments, dude. People are savages. They're like,
One lady DM'd us and was like, she like cursed us out, like your reports are this, and
she left a comment on our video being like, "Yeah, this report's so bad. I'm going with AccuWeather." And I was like, the next day I was like, "Was AccuWeather right?" I don't think so.
Did you say
like,
that?
she was like, "AccuWeather was perfectly right." I was like, "Absolutely not." And I was like, "By the way, thanks for the comment on our video, boosting our engagement and views." By the way.
People are crazy,
like,
man.
I love the hate because it only helps us. Like I said last week, the hate boosts us. And
she said, "I'm going with AccuWeather."
she's like, this forecast is wrong. I'm going with AccuWeather. I was like, okay, cool. Go with AccuWeather. People are nuts, dude. And guess what? No meteorologist guessed 10 inches for Edison, New Jersey. No one did. It was that band. No one predicted that 3-inch-an-hour band.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So, Josh, I do got to say one thing. If you're going to keep doing weather reports for the Garden State, you should start having to wear a suit.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
You dress up like
Yeah, I could totally wear a suit.
for that March blizzard that's coming.
Yeah, bro. I got to get my green screen set up too in the apartment. That would be really cool, so I could like actually be in front of a map. Make it look official. You know, we gotta compete with all these news sites, and I have to really step up my game. That was my bad, guys.
Okay, before we move on from this topic of the weather, I wanted to ask you, what's the greatest snowfall New Jersey's ever received? If you had to guess, how many inches, what year? Jimmy, do you have any idea?
I'm going to go high. I'm going to say 42.
Wasn't this in the 80s? Wasn't there like a crazy blizzard in the 80s? Isn't it like 35 inches or something like that?
The top, here's Asbury Park Press, our friends over at App.
The app.
Top 10 storms. They say that every list is different. Number one is 26.9 inches in January 2016. There's no way.
The 2016 blizzard was nuts. But I feel like there's definitely been bigger.
I've seen photos from the 70s of like Cranford and other towns being swamped. 29 inches fell in 47. I don't know, man. Every list is different.
No one knows.
I mean, some of them are going on different metrics, though. Some of them are going how many people died. I just want to know, most snow ever, NJ. Like, what would you Google to find this?
I feel like that's all you got to type in. But like you said,
winters.
every report's different. That's so weird.
Here we go. Major New Jersey snowstorms from weather. Here you go. Okay, so, yeah, these lists aren't even legible. Okay, well, whatever. I think probably like 30 inches.
It's somewhere in the 30s, yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing 2016 for 30 inches in Somerset County.
The 2016 blizzard was nuts, if you guys remember that one.
Thought that... Wasn't there like a 95 or 96 blizzard where we got like 36 inches?
I remember I was like 4 years old. I have photos of like just towering snow, but I don't think it was that much. I think it's just because we were younger.
You know what a sad thing about life is what you just said, is getting older and realizing the storm wasn't that bad. You were just really small.
Yeah. And as a kid, you're like, this is crazy.
This is a lot of snow. But I do feel like in the 90s, we used to get like a foot of, like snowstorms that would throw us a foot regularly. Mm-hmm. Like I remember building huge snowmen. And nowadays, I just feel like we get these 3-inch, 4-inch storms.
I just saw those photos from like the 2019 storm. We got like a foot and a half or something, but it was a photo of us in the middle of my parents' street, and Jimmy's towing some guy's car because it got stuck in the street.
I totally forgot he did that until you showed me that picture.
Yeah, it was like us three in the street. We had the tow strap on Jimmy's Jeep, just towing a random guy's car who got stuck. It was like the coolest moment.
Jimmy, a real man of
Good
genius.
Good guy, Jim.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get into the news, we want to remind you we are at the Vintage City offices in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Vintage City has been our home for a little over 6 months now.
Oh, yeah, way over that.
It's gone fast.
It's flying.
We love being at the Vintage City offices, and if you are looking for an office space for your small business or you're looking for a space where you can work, the number is 908-259-4488. You can call or text to come get a tour, check out the space, and see the big glowing Garden State sign. We love it here. It's been a great experience. If you do come by, you got to check out the art we put up on our wall this past week. Our studio's really coming together. And if you do have any interest, again, that number is 908-259-4488. Call or text today, later.
So we're actually thinking about doing an in-person event here at Vintage City. You know, we wanted to like meet our listeners or meet our viewers and have a hang. Have like some food, have some games, whatever. Like, but before we could even plan anything, we want to know if you guys would seriously come to an event.
Yeah.
We don't know how to gauge our listeners. We don't know how to gauge our viewers. It's tough because you have so many people listening and watching. How many people would actually turn out to an event? We need your guys' help in order for us to do a future event here. Mm-hmm. We want to know if you'd be interested in coming. So we made a Google form.
Yes, you could fill out the Google form with your interest.
Link in the description of this podcast.
Yeah, and the event would look like a fun hang, probably pizza, maybe some trivia with some free merch and prizes.
Yeah, something chill.
Just something to celebrate 100 episodes of The Garden State. We passed that a few weeks ago, and we should have a formal celebration.
It would be on like a weeknight in March.
Yeah, like we're thinking late March, weeknight, maybe like a 7 to 9 sort of event. Yeah,
something like that. So just go to the link in our description of the podcast. Fill out the Google form. If you're just not interested in doing an event or showing up, please let us know in the form, being like, "Hey, I love the podcast, but I just don't feel like showing up." That's totally cool. We need those kind of answers, just so we could see what to plan for and if we could actually do this event or if anyone is actually going to show up. It's in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Yeah, and it just would be a night to hang, meet some people, talk about the podcast. You could come see our studio space.
Yeah, it'll just be super chill hang.
Chill hang, kick back sort of vibe. And let us know if you'd be interested in coming out.
Link in the description.
All right, guys. Hey, enough about the snow. You guys want to dive into the mailbag? We got 11
We got like
mailbag?
12 mailbags this week. Shout out to everyone. The mailbag episode's coming. We're going to catch up on all of these. Thank you guys so much for calling and giving us your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. They're the freaking best.
All right. Why don't we get into this call? If you would like to call our mailbag, you're more than welcome to.
Please.
Literally, you can do it. We're not going to stop you. The number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Good morning on a beautiful Monday of Friday.
Can we acknowledge that that breath he just took?
It's like a really good morning.
He was charging up for like the best. Let's hear that again.
Good morning on a beautiful Monday of President's Day at the Garden State. This is Cheese, Medford, New Jersey's number 2 Jimmy Parks Ranger.
Yes.
Just giving a call. There's been a couple interesting things. One is a lot of talk about teachers recently. My wife is a teacher, and I got to say there's just a lot of craziness about the world of teaching these days. There's how much teachers make compared to where they work and where they live, because the more affluent and higher running the students are, generally teachers aren't paid as well. So in more expensive communities to live in, your teachers are getting paid extremely poorly, so they have to have longer commutes. And then also, if you were to change jobs, because we lived in Morris County for a number of years. I was up there for 10 years, but I grew up in Burlington County and moved back down into my old hometown of Medford. It was really hard for her to find a job that would give her years in, because at the time she was 11 years into her career. Years in, and then she was like a master's 30, so like a pretty high-ranking teacher in terms of preparation. So it's just a real interesting world that I just don't know how to solve it, but something has to change. Like maybe a mandate that if a teacher has years in to continue to give them that, because it was really hard for us to get her a new job. Secondly, interesting things about New Jersey. Take a look at the 1926 Patni Arsenal explosion. When I spent my 9 change years up in Morris County, I lived right off Lake Apacong, and I worked on Patni Arsenal at the time. And it's a pretty crazy story about the explosion, that there's still UXO, unexploded ordnance, in different parts of both the arsenal, and I think all the way down to Dover. So, love the podcast. Big fan. Been listening for close to a year now, and wish I could join you at the Plunge, but I can't. Have a great day.
Thank you, Cheese.
That's really interesting.
Jeez.
I never knew about that. And I just found an article here saying in 2020 they found more unexploded ordnance.
Yeah, I just saw that article too. Kind of interesting about the Picatinny thing. Picatinny Arsenal is... Have you guys ever been in to Picatinny? I've been once or twice.
I've never been inside.
Just
I've driven by it
yeah.
a ton.
Okay.
So we don't have to connect you.
A few things.
I'm really jealous that you've been inside. I was supposed to go once, but it didn't happen.
So I have 2 notes on this. First is mutual friend of all of ours returned from Afghanistan.
Yep.
And they did the whole return thing. Coolest event. I mean, like, I thought it was the coolest day ever. It was really... Everybody should witness that once, like people coming back from a deployment. But I went in Picatinny and it's like a valley. Like you're surrounded by all these hills and it's just, there's a lot going on in there. And like, I don't know if I'm at liberty to discuss a military base on this podcast.
Yeah, be careful what you're about to say.
But then the next time I went was, let's just say someone close to me had a relative that worked on the base and they happened to live on the base. And I went in and got to see one of the houses that people live in on base. And again, really cool experience. Like there's a lot going on there. And I mean, it's amazing to go on a military base. They're kind of interesting.
And they still got, you said that they found things in 2020, Jim?
Yeah, from this explosion that Brendan was talking about. What's his name? Cheese was talking about.
Brendan. Cheese.
Yeah, so they found something, he said, as far down as Dover.
So they still might have some things floating around the woods up there, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, absolutely.
There's so much
and I mean, there's just so much land.
Exactly, yeah.
It'd be hard to find everything. But it's really interesting to think about. Also, to his point about teachers, we talked about teacher shortage in New Jersey, and one of the things we talked about is maybe it's a money thing. Maybe people don't want to do it because they don't want to, they can't financially, survive in New Jersey. I think that's plausible. I think that's always been the conversation with teachers is the money. I think a bigger thing, though, because the money hasn't changed, but people it has become more expensive to live in New Jersey. We can acknowledge that.
Yep.
The whole world has become more expensive. But I think the thing that's dramatically changed in the last 5 years, probably since COVID, is I think kids are genuinely a little bit different.
Yeah, everyone's hooked on their computers,
built different. And now with that, someone showed me a quote last night of Socrates talking about the kids.
Socrates?
Yeah. Socrates.
I think I know this quote. I think we talked about it in school. And it puts a lot in perspective.
He said, someone showed me this quote, and I didn't know who wrote it. It said, "The children now love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority. They show disrespect for elders and love chatter in place of exercise. Children are now tyrants, not the servants of their households." I read that and I was like, wow, that sounds like today. And I'm like, oh, it's Socrates. So maybe it's always been going on.
It's always been this way, I think.
Always been bad.
I do think there's levels to it where like kids, the ability to focus and stuff, I do think is going down. I saw this TikTok the other day of this kid. He was like, I'm a substitute teacher. And he's like, and guys, Gen Alpha, he just starts going off like, we're doomed.
We're doomed. We're done.
We're doomed. So
what was interesting about his call, though, he was saying his wife was 11 years into her teaching, and then they had to move down to South Jersey, and it was like her starting from basically like point A. Like, there has to be a mandate or something where if you have 11 years of teaching experience, you should be able to get a job like this immediately, and that's not the case apparently with teaching.
Well, it depends on. See, here's where it gets weird. Is it depends on the pay scale of local municipalities, because the townships are the ones that are making a lot of these decisions. But then there's also this. It gets complicated because I don't want to speak out of terms because I'm not fully sure as a teacher how it works. But I believe townships have a lot of authority to kind of decide this stuff. But you're right. Like if you're going from, let's say you do 20 years in or 10 years in Newark, and then you move out to like Montclair, right? Like it shouldn't be like you start from square one. I don't know. But thanks for the call, Cheese. Cheese is his name? That's amazing.
He said his name was Cheese. Wow. It must be a call name or a call sign or something like that. Like,
yeah.
Unless his name is actually Cheese, but I think that's pretty cool. He's a Jimmy Parks Ranger.
So Mr. Parks, you got a guy in your team named Cheese. I like that.
He's building his army. You have to slowly keep these names in mind, Jimmy.
It's a good nickname.
You're gonna run into him, Jim, one day.
I hope so. I mean,
that's
I
your
move
territory.
To Medford, so.
All right, hey guys, why don't we get into the news for New Jersey? We're almost 30 minutes into this podcast.
I want to talk about the news.
Yeah, there's stuff happening, and this first story is gonna ruffle some jimmies.
Blow your socks off.
I don't know. I think this story is gonna be divisive. I think our TikTok is gonna have a lot of suburban moms very upset.
I'm ready for it.
And a lot of dudes that are like, let's go.
Let's go.
A luxurious safari resort is opening in New Jersey.
Safari?
A luxurious safari.
Wait, is this
resort
part of Six Flags Safari?
Yeah, so Six Flags.
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You can sleep at Six Flags, apparently.
The Animal Kingdom. Well, no, that's Disney World, right?
Oh, don't get it right, Josh.
So Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson is going to have the grand opening of Savannah Sunset Resort and Spa on June 14th.
Whoa, it's a spa too.
Yeah. So
what is this place?
Savannah Sunset Resort and Spa is part of one of the largest investments in Six Flags Great Adventure Resort in nearly 2 decades. In celebration of the destination's 50-year history, Six Flags Great Adventure is also debuting its 15th roller coaster this summer, The Flash, which I feel like that was already a thing, The Flash, right?
Not that coaster, no.
Okay. So, it's going to be glamping, really.
Literally. That's what the photos look like.
Reservations are being accepted for the new luxury glamping experience in the heart of the 350-acre Six Flags Wild Safari, home to over 1,200 animals. Luxurious accommodations include 20 glamping suites that vary in size, sleeping 2 to 6 guests. Unmatched views and VIP experiences. During their stay, guests can choose their adventure, relaxing with sweeping views from their suite, participating in close-up animal encounters, or exploring the local waterholes of the theme park of Hurricane Harbor.
Wait, so you're telling me that I'm going to wake up in my tent, essentially, and there's just going to be like a giraffe standing over me?
Jimmy,
you better hope so.
Jimmy, it depends on the experience you want. You get to choose. So included benefits are a 2-night minimum stay. Excuse me, with a 2-night minimum stay, guests will enjoy a giraffe feeding, daily breakfast, multi-park passes, giving access to all 3 Six Flags Great Adventure Resort parks, VIP dining, spa services.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then there's also event spaces there in case you want to have a wedding.
A birthday party.
Birthday party or a wedding.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't last year they just get rid of like that you could drive yourself through the safari?
Yeah, I think that was probably the first step in this process.
Instead of driving through the safari, now you can be in
one of their trucks.
In the safari.
And living, yeah.
You are the safari.
You're going to have people driving by and they're like, this is
an American. They're going to throw up a cheeseburger.
You're going to wake up, you're going to see a bunch of people taking pictures of you like you're in a cage.
I love it. This is great.
I like the giraffe feeding option, though.
I just think that if you're going to go on safari, you see videos or photos of people on safari in Africa. They're at these beautiful hotels.
I've been.
Looking at the savannah. You've been on safari?
I went to a safari in Africa. A real safari.
Okay, so did you stay there or did you just go out for the day?
No, we just went for the day.
What was it like?
It was awesome.
You were on one of those trucks with the cage?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was cool, dude. Hippos, giraffes, gazelles, tigers, lions. Name it. Name the animal.
Wow, so you literally saw it all.
Dude, I have photos somewhere. I have to dig them up for you guys. It's so cool.
Is that rare to see that many animals? Did you guys get so lucky or is it pretty much...
It's kind of rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like
it depends on the day, Sometimes the lion doesn't feel like coming out.
Yeah.
He's chilling.
It's not like the opening of Lion King, Jimmy.
No.
It's not like when they sing The Circle of Life and all the animals come out.
There
are giraffes. Like giraffes are like all over the place. It's pretty cool. Like they got really long necks.
Awesome.
But I've actually never been to the safari at Six Flags, so I heard it's cool. I hear good things about it, so I want to hope this experience is awesome.
Josh.
I can't, all you could do right now is just kind of laugh, but.
Josh, you've been on a safari in Africa.
Yeah.
I don't think Jackson, New Jersey is going to stack up. I think
but you know what's nice about Jackson? It's only like, they say 300 acres, so it is more condensed, so all the animals are closer, so you have a better chance of seeing all the animals.
Yeah, but.
Honestly, and also, I wonder how much.
That's not their natural habitat.
It's wrong. But guess what? It makes money. And it keeps the kids happy. So that's all that matters. And so I'm interested to know how much this glamping experience is going to cost.
What do you think for 6 people to go? What's the
minimum
be for
2 nights stay?
What do you think? Like $1,200 a night for a big room?
No, maybe because you got to think you have park passes too, so included.
Maybe like $5,000 for 2 nights
per person.
No, for the whole
group.
Experience.
I don't know. Maybe like 2 G's,
2 to 3,
2.5. I don't know. The prices haven't come out yet, but I'm very curious to see what this is like. But I guess it's a cool, little fun, family-friendly event, right?
Yeah,
I don't know who's staying at this thing.
I was thinking like bachelor party trip. This would be the move. Like you get a group of guys, you go on safari for 2 days. Like let's just chill in a tent and watch the giraffes. And we went to the Poconos for mine. I mean, I feel like this would have been the cooler experience.
Sorry,
honestly.
Josh. Sorry we didn't have this option.
Rode some coasters. I mean, like,
And that's
I don't
true.
know.
Like, that's pretty cool how you have access to the parks too. So like during the day you go to the water park all day, but then like, what's the safari like at night? Like,
You
all
probably
the
just
animals
hear-
aren't they all sleeping in their cages? Like, you're not gonna have a giraffe walk by you in 3 a.m, right?
I don't know.
That might be pretty cool if you're actually in. No, there's no shot that the animals are open like that with you. You'll die.
Okay, you want to, what's the over-under on someone getting mauled in one of these tents?
You know it's gonna be safe. There's no shot.
Oh yeah, I doubt it's gonna be in the middle of the enclosure.
But that would be cool. I would go if it was like that.
Yeah, I kind of want to almost get mauled by a lion.
I want to feel like I'm in a real life safari.
I want to hear a little roar outside my tent.
Can you imagine that in the middle of the night?
You ever hear a lion roar in person?
No.
No. Oh, yeah. At Six Flags, I heard the Tigers. Do they have a lion there, right?
Probably.
Do they have a Turtleback Zoo? They got lions there? They do.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lion there once.
They're loud.
They are.
It's a deep, bassy roar. So, Jimmy, I could see you being on this safari giving tours.
Mr. Park Ranger.
No, I don't think so.
No,
But-
Jimmy's more of like he's Jimmy Parks. He's got to be in the actual wild, bro.
Yeah.
You can't keep him in an enclosed, safari like that.
Yeah. He's not that corporate.
No.
It's true.
No.
What were you going to say?
I don't know.
So Jimmy was going to say something.
Can we go on a little tangent here? I don't know if we want to actually put this in or not.
Yeah.
But can we talk about when we went camping a few years ago and those Boy Scouts were next to us?
Listen.
Oh my gosh.
So where's that, Stokes?
High Point.
High Point camping, annual trip, great times.
Yeah.
Ryan, our friend, had a Bluetooth speaker. And of course, we show up. I think we talked about this before, did we?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We camp, and the head of the Boy Scouts, this guy, what was his name? Doug?
Doug.
Yeah, Doug.
Doug comes over. We don't even know this guy, but his name's Doug. And it was his actual name, Doug. He comes up and he goes, hey, boys, taking the Boy Scouts out. Did he say something about cursing? Like, let's just keep it, let's keep our language clean. And we're
Let's keep it G-rated.
All
I was
right.
like, all right, we're not going to be rowdy.
And then at some point, we got a little rowdy because Ryan takes out a Bluetooth speaker and starts playing a 10-hour montage of bear roars on YouTube.
But this was like late at night.
Yeah, it was like...
So he puts the Bluetooth speaker on blast, starts playing these bear noises, points it towards the Boy Scout camp, and we're trying not to laugh. We're just like crying, laughing next to the fire.
I think the Boy Scouts shivers were timbered that day.
It's the most ridiculous
Can you
thing.
imagine those poor kids laying in the tent and they're like already nervous. They don't want to embarrass themselves in front of their friends because they're scared of bears, and they just hear roars.
And
we thought it was the
good quality
funniest thing.
Bluetooth.
We thought it was the funniest thing.
That was such a fun trip. That was a great camping trip.
All right.
Let's,
We wanted to give the Boy Scouts a real experience in the wild.
Well, yeah, I mean,
God.
Scouts honor, man. They gotta experience a little close encounter with a black bear.
Yes,
New Jersey black
yes,
bear.
100%.
Those knots aren't going to tie themselves, man. They got to learn how to tie those bear traps.
If that ain't the truth, I don't know what is.
All right, so let's move on to the next story. This one's going to get people pretty excited. The famous Southern convenience store Bucky's might be coming to New Jersey.
It's awesome. Have you ever been?
No.
I've heard so many amazing things, but I didn't get to go.
I'm the only person on this podcast that's ever been to Bucky's.
Yeah, what is it like?
Yeah,
Jimmy?
tell us about it.
Tell us.
My first time ever to Bucky's was in 2017 in Texas. Never knew what it was before. And I was on tour with this band called Patent Pending. And I was like, whoa, this place is awesome. There's a big Bucky. I don't know. What is he? He's a beaver, I guess.
It looks like a beaver, but yeah, it looks like the size of like a ShopRite.
Oh, so then this year I was driving down to Alabama and I stopped at the world's largest Bucky's in Tennessee.
Oh no.
There was I'm not exaggerating. It looks like a mile-long gas station of all gas pumps, and every single one was full. And incredible brisket sandwich. Highly, highly recommend. The place is mobbed.
Isn't it like a giant Wawa?
It's
Or
like a
it's
giant Wawa,
times
essentially.
10?
Yes, it's Wawa on steroids. It's incredible.
Well, that's the concern. Is it's going to take down Wawa?
100%.
We've been in this closed market.
Please.
We need some classic capitalism. market competition here because we have Wawa and Quick Check going at it.
So
they're chopping each other's heads off. And then Bucky's is showing up late to the party.
I would say the difference between a Wawa and a Quick Check and a Bucky's is Bucky's is like a destination. Like
it's like a wall drug.
Like the safari.
So, and they pay people extremely, extremely well.
Really?
Yeah. And the cleanest like public bathrooms you will ever be in your life.
Wow.
When you walk in the door, they have greeters who like huge smiles on their faces.
That's
Welcome to
awesome.
Bucky's. Like kids are freaking out when they walk in there. It's like going to the zoo.
Is this real? This sounds
literally when you
this
walked
past
in,
tour, the guy stopped at Bucky's at like 3 a.m. and I was sleeping. I didn't know they stopped there. I was so mad, but they were just bragging. But they got shirts, they got merch, and like they were just like, "You guys missed out on the best time of tour." I was like, "Really?"
So here's what the article says. It says a supersized gas station with a cult-like following has its eyes on New Jersey drivers.
Please.
Only this one is 12 times the size of a new Wawa and serves brisket instead of hoagies. Bucky's, a Texas-based chain that brags of 120 gas pumps, gourmet food, and a destination experience, recently debuted a billboard on the New Jersey Turnpike, the company's northernmost advertisement on the East Coast. The ad, just past Exit 8 on the northbound side in South Brunswick, featured a curved yellow arrow suggesting drivers turn around and go 581 miles, the distance to Bucky's nearest travel center in Florence, South Carolina. But is it merely a joke or the declaration of a Texas takeover? So it looks like they're hinting at it. They're dropping little breadcrumbs for us. These spots typically are 75,000 square feet.
It's crazy.
Jimmy, you talked about the gas pumps. This is 120 gas pumps.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Never a shortage.
How many attendants do you need, though? I don't think they know what they're signing up for in Jersey.
Well, think about it. In
That's a
other
good
states.
point.
In other states, they don't have gas attendants. So.
Yeah, but if they come to Jersey,
they're not thinking about their model because you're going to come here and you have to have probably a certain number of attendants per pump, don't you think, legally?
I don't know.
It's like you have one attendant for 120 pumps.
Oh, obviously not.
They're going to need like 20 guys out there running around.
Ridiculous. But when I was there, it was literally just a line of fuel trucks like constantly pumping fuel into the ground.
Really?
Because I kid you not, we could not get into a gas pump. Every single pump was full.
Okay, listen. You work for Bucky's marketing.
Yeah.
You guys have so much money because you're Bucky's, and everyone loves you. Don't you think there's that one dude on the team who's kind of just like out there and just be like, guys, let's troll New Jersey right now. Let's put a billboard on the New Jersey Turnpike where they get hundreds of thousands of people driving on the highway. Let's put a billboard that's saying, "Oh, the next Bucky's is 580 miles away."
Well,
just to laugh, just to make them think that the Bucky's is coming when it's not really coming.
No,
I think they're trolling.
I'll say it's not trolling. It's brilliant press.
It's really cool. Yeah, everyone's talking about it now.
Whoever thought of it, I mean, they may not even be planning to come to Jersey, but this is great. This is like top tier marketing because what you just did is every New Jersey media source is covering this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to reach out and see if they'll sponsor us.
And now look, people who don't know what Bucky's is, they're looking into Bucky's. They're like, what is it? And now, it grows their brand. It's so smart.
And they have a great mascot.
Bucky?
Yeah, he's so cute.
Yeah, I like it.
So you think if a Bucky's did come to New Jersey, it'd be somewhere along the turnpike, right?
It would have to be.
Makes sense.
Yeah, probably somewhere near like New Brunswick.
And where would they even put that right now? Because it looks like they're redoing like a lot of the rest stops on the turnpike.
So I think it would be off the turnpike. I don't think it would be like an official New Jersey rest stop.
You think it would survive off the turnpike like that?
Yeah, I think it would have to be off a major exit. I think I could see it off of exit 7.
Okay.
Or it's near exit 7, exit 8. So I'm saying it's going to probably be somewhere in that area.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And those are major interchanges, especially like the 7 that a lot of people go on 295 from there. People go to Pennsylvania around there. Exit 6 even.
That's strategic if you're Bucky's corporate.
Yo,
but listen,
we need an inside source from Bucky's right now. Spill the beans.
I want Bucky's to come to the Garden State.
Yeah.
Not just the state, but the podcast.
Yes.
What state is that in where it's 580 miles away? Which one was that?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Wow. Sheesh.
Or is it North Carolina? One of the Carolinas.
Nonetheless, I hear so much hype about this place, and imagine Just imagine it came to the Garden State.
The brisket sandwich, so good.
The brisket sandwich is, you already sold me on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds, I think we're witnessing a cultural pivot where gas station food's being taken really seriously. I think it's always been a Southern thing, but in Jersey, it has not always been.
Well, dude, we got a lot of mailbags this week with the people talking about our debate with Wawa and Quick Check.
Yeah.
And just a lot about the food. A lot of people are very passionate about one or the other. You can't have both. And, people care about that kind of stuff.
Well, there's a lot to be care about. There's a lot to care about.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't speak. I know I say this with every story, but this is probably one of the crazier stories we've read. It's so ridiculous. I don't know what to even think about it. I don't know if I'm missing something or not understanding something, but this is crazy.
Let's dig into it and just break it apart.
So this week, Edison, New Jersey got a $2 million grant to construct a municipal broadband service.
Edison is so big where they're like, none of these internet providers are doing it for us. Let's start our own broadband.
They're going to take on Comcast.
No other town in this state has ever accomplished something like this. So if Edison does it, they'll be the first town.
I'm so confused, and I'd love some backstory here. If a politician from Edison wants to call and explain this, call in and leave us a voicemail at our mailbag, I would love to hear, because this is genuinely a strange thing from an outsider's perspective.
I mean, people need some good internet, brother.
Yeah, and there's no competition is what they're saying at Edison, which is what kind of is causing this. But $2 million doesn't sound like enough to send real broadband.
Not even close.
No shot. Like, I feel like this is a giant project if they actually wanted to do it.
Isn't this like $100 million project?
There's so much that needs to be done, and you'll read it in the article, but it just doesn't add up for me.
So the township has received a $2 million grant from the State Department of Community Affairs to expand municipal broadband services. The Township Council passed a resolution last week accepting the grant. Edison now has a 24-month period to build a portion of the infrastructure, part of which is a server, as well as a business plan, which is expected to be completed soon, officials said. Previously, officials have said that the business plan would look at the strengths and weaknesses of municipal broadband and determine market competition. So the total cost of the broadband structure has not been disclosed, but the $2 million is considered a start, which is vague.
It's a tiny little start.
Dropping the bucket kind of start, or like, hey, this is going to get us on our way kind of start.
No idea.
It probably does like a study or something, right? Like,
Yeah, it's always...
It's to make the business plan.
Yeah.
So here's what's really behind all of this. The idea for high-speed municipal broadband in Edison has grown from the quest for faster, more reliable, and more affordable internet service in town, where Optimum has been the major provider, and residents with old landlines have complained of service interruptions and other problems. Can I just say, I can't read Optimum without hearing the commercial still.
I can't think of the commercial, honestly.
You guys remember Optimum, digital cable, watch TV whenever you're able. You don't remember that?
Nope.
877-393.
Wow.
You remember that?
No.
What a good ad that, stuck in your head all these years later.
If you're a listener and you remember that commercial, it was like, I don't even know what it was. Oh, man, it's so ADD, but I hear it in my head every time I read Optimum. Sorry. So, there's a grant coming. Just as Comcast, Xfinity will hold 2 video conference public hearings on February 27th to receive comments on its plan to provide TV service in Edison as part of the January 30th application filed with the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities Office of Cable Television and Telecommunications.
So wait, Xfinity's trying to get into the mix?
Yeah, so
Xfinity's trying to get their services in town?
Everyone's
fighting for Edison right now.
Optimum, Comcast, and literally the Township of Edison is vying for the business of its people. So it sounds like there's a bit of a monopoly going on here with Optimum. And the township is trying to figure out a solution. I don't see this as a good solution. I think, if anything, they should make extreme tax incentives for these larger companies to come in. Like, why can't Verizon be in Edison? This is the most confusing thing. You have to look up on the map.
Knew too much about it.
We're going to look on the map to see if you can get 5G or not 5G. If you can get the high speed internet. It's like they have to run a cable.
Yeah,
like just run the cable. Like, this is New Jersey. We're not in Alaska. Like, Are you kidding me? Right? Like, do you know what I mean?
It's just crazy to think about.
It makes sense.
I remember someone was like, "Oh, you live in Cranford. You guys get Verizon." Like, what? It's just a wire. Like, what is going on with Verizon?
The wire.
The wire. Jesse. Oh man.
Oh, that was funny.
So
we're not in Alaska.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could understand if we were on the frontier.
Yeah,
but
like a Nome or something.
This is Edison, New Jersey, guys. They got Topgolf. So, yeah, so the company has said it plans to bring Xfinity 10G network to Edison, providing residents with access to Comcast's full suite of Xfinity and Comcast business services. Under the agreement with the township, Comcast would pay Edison an annual fee of 3.5% gross revenues. So 10G, by the way, if people were worried about 5G, you better watch.
Yeah, 10G.
The tin foil sales are about to go through the roof. But both residents and officials remain uncertain about the township's broadband plans, especially since Alves Vivieros said she's not aware of any other municipalities in the state that have started a broadband. So Edison would be the first.
It's not profitable. Like, think about how much money it's going to cost to run that. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Listen, this is one of those things that's going to get started and go nowhere because the only way that's going to happen is consistent funding. And the people of Edison, they're not going to pay for this.
Yeah, there's a quote here. It says, "My research shows the only town arguably that has been able to do it profitably is Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Ooh.
That is a service area with maybe 3 times the population of Edison." So, I don't know.
Place.
This is hopeful. I think it gets so confusing when a government gets involved in like business. It's so confusing because it's like, I don't know.
You got to, propose the business plan. You got to bring the business plan in front of the people because no one has a business plan right now. Like, no, there's no facts. It's just an idea right now.
This all makes so much sense, actually.
Why?
I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I stopped at Bucky's. So is this
what?
all connected?
Jimmy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Was there 5G?
I don't know.
Makes sense.
Is this all part of one big scheme?
Maybe.
I don't see it happening. If it does happen, it's going to be like 5-10 years down the road. I don't think it's that easy to start your own broadband.
Guys, boys, let's start a broadband.
Why not? What are we doing?
There's a market here in Edison. Let's just go start a The fact that sentence alone was so confusing. Edison's going to start a broadband.
It's very interesting. Do you live in Edison? Anyone live in Edison? Is your internet whack? Do you need your own broadband?
Listen, man. You know what's going to be the solution to all this is the little satellite dish that Elon made. What's it called?
What, Starlink?
Yeah.
Starlink. Everyone just needs to get Starlink. Fastest internet available, and it's like $300 to buy it.
I don't know why we don't have it yet.
You can go anywhere with it. Actually, we should get a Starlink next camping trip. Bring it with us and see how it works.
Okay.
Do you guys know your download speeds at your homes?
I don't.
Really?
I don't.
I pay for the expensive Verizon package, so it's fast.
But like when you're home, you're using your internet. Is it fast? Like, are you happy with it?
Oh yeah, lightning.
Yeah,
I've never had slow internet.
I got like 300 up and down.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
I don't know what that means.
I was at my friend's house. He has 900 up and down. I was like, how do you get 900? Like, I can't get past 300.
Wow.
But I'll take 300 any day. It's pretty good.
I've never like.
What's our
complained.
internet here? Do speedtest.net. I'm just very curious what you're getting right now.
Speed test.
I don't know what. Yeah, I'm just curious what we're getting in Elizabeth. Oh, whoa! We're getting a nice 230 up or down. I'm sorry,
380 down. I'm reading right now. This is fast.
380. You're two. That's 270.
Quick speeds. We got quick stuff going on here.
I gotta come here to upload things.
Jimmy has really slow internet.
All right, let's move on to the next story here. I think the thing with Edison getting internet is someone's going to have to pay for it. And that's going to play into this next story, guys. Little hint at what's going on in the state of New Jersey.
In the Garden State.
So this almost sounds like a cliche, but it's real. It's the truth. Property taxes in New Jersey are soaring to an all-time high after a 3% increase.
Lovely.
3% increase, guys.
It just depresses me.
The average property tax bill for homeowners in the Garden State hit a record $9,803, according to new data posted by the State Department of Community Affairs. That's up from a previous $9,490 in 2022. That's a 3% increase And it's roughly in line with the latest inflation rates from the Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics. However, the $313 increase is the highest year to year since Governor Phil Murphy took office in 2018. What do you think about this?
I was even shocked that the average was in the 9,000s because living in Union County, bro, like I don't hear less than 11,000 anywhere around here.
Yeah, but that's because Union County is on the upper end of
100%.
Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, you go out to
I'm not familiar with
County.
like South Jersey and like what they're paying.
Yeah, Cumberland County, places like that. I'm sure it's way lower.
But like $9,800 is still pretty high. If you look at
It's ridiculously
the world.
high. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm just saying like I've become so numb to it living in Union County.
$9,800.
Also, I don't own a house, so I'm not paying property taxes right now. But from what I hear from other people who have homes, it's ridiculous. I think my parents are paying like 13, bro. It's like a tiny little house.
$13,000.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous.
$13,000. You can move to North Carolina and pay $1,000
For a big house.
And like, I don't understand like the whole formula with it all. Like more bathrooms, it means higher taxes and
All that flushing, bro.
and then like when you do like upgrades to your home, like that could increase your property taxes.
Every
Like
little
I don't
thing
understand.
increases your property tax.
It's like if I'm redoing my kitchen, right? Like why should that affect my property
You add a
taxes?
cabinet, your property tax goes up.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't get, this is a low IQ
Theft.
thing I'm going to say, but I don't get, so like North Carolina, let's say, how are they surviving with people paying $1,000 property tax? Like we need an economist to come and explain this because why do we have to pay? I know that people would say, oh, we have better schools, but like really? That much better? Like we
Yeah, our
can't
schools are
find teachers.
no
They're falling
shot.
apart.
Yeah.
So like, is it like, where is the money going?
I think the real problem is there are too many municipalities in New Jersey.
It should be counties.
Well, no, it shouldn't just be counties. Like there still could be individual towns.
No, but things should be. You're saying like in North Carolina, there might be a county sheriff's office.
And there's a county sheriff's office in New Jersey too. But right, you have your local police departments, you
Yeah.
have your local DPWs, all
Yeah.
of these small towns.
Everyone needs to get paid.
Yeah, and then you're paying these people's pensions forever.
Yeah.
So I saw one small town South Jersey's budget, and like, I don't want to speak out of line, but I want to say it was more than half of their annual budget goes to just retirees and paying pensions. Like it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So, and that's never going to change.
No.
I mean,
yeah,
Not that
we're never going to bring those property taxes
But then
down.
you have same thing. All these towns then have schools and superintendents and school boards, and not that school boards are paid, but
yeah, it's crazy to think about.
so
And the thing is, we're closer together than a lot of these counties and others. Like in North Carolina or South Carolina,
the county's huge.
it makes sense. The county is the size of half of our state,
Yeah.
right? Like you're talking about massive amount of land. But like Union County, right? You're talking about maybe like 10 square miles, something like that. Like,
Well,
not even something like that.
For example, look at Winfield Park,
Yeah.
right? They have their own schools. They have their own
Crazy.
DPW. They have their own police department. Like, why can't... Originally, that was a part of Rahway, Cranford, and Clark.
Yeah.
Why can't you just...
Consolidate.
Yeah.
Well, the issue now is the genie's out of the bottle. People's jobs exist, and you're not going to fire people, and you're not going to eliminate pensions. So I don't know that there will ever be a solution unless they started to say, hey, here's the last hiring year from this point forward. When we bring people on, this, the contracts get renegotiated. Now, I have family members that'll take part in some of these state pensions, so I don't want to see them lose their pension, obviously. That's not what I'm advocating.
No, and I don't think that would happen either. I think,
But like in the future, maybe we like, because the reality is we've moved I wish we were still pension based as a society. I will say that. Like I wish I had a pension.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome to be able to go, hey, when I retire until I die, I have a family member that when they die, their spouse gets their pension until they die.
Yeah.
So you're like, you're good, you're covered, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I wish I had that, but I will say, as a society, we've moved away from it. So is it still tenable for all areas of You know what I mean? Like we're paying a lot in taxes.
Yeah. I think one thing that you will start seeing, and I know some towns are doing it already, they're just consolidating services. So the two towns' DPWs come together and now they're one.
Yeah. And that's great. So maybe that's the solution. These people still get their nice pension, their nice paycheck.
Yep.
But it's just the work gets shifted differently.
Yeah.
That would make way more sense. I think even with the policing aspect, there's a lot of towns where I'm like, what is going on? You know, like you figure these really quiet suburban towns, not a lot of crime going on. I mean, come on, we could like Cranford and Westfield could probably join forces.
Yeah.
They'd probably be all right. I mean, that's going to sound ignorant to all the cops listening, but like, I think you boys could join arms and like we could lose like 15 cops. And
the other day, Jimmy and I, during the snowstorm, we stopped by the Clark Police Department just to kind of inspect and do our, just to see what's going on with the town, making sure everything's going well. And Jimmy was a little upset.
You guys are weirdos.
We had to stop by. And Jimmy was like, Jimmy brought up the fact that there's so many new cop cars.
I can't get over how many police cars we have in town.
Way too many police cars. And like, I'm all for the police, bro. Like, I'm totally here to support the police, but like, they had so many cop cars. I'm like, do we need this many in a town like this? Like, it was ridiculous.
Here's the thing is, if you're a taxpayer, you should be allowed to ask those questions. I think it is kind of interesting, and obviously we're three bros with a podcast. We don't know the ins and outs but something's wrong. If we're saying property taxes are going up 3%, no one can afford to live in this state. Unless you're high income, dual income, you're dinks, dual income, no kids, like then you're good. But like if you're just a regular person,
dinks.
Have you never heard of that?
No.
That's like the big thing, dinks, dual income, no kids.
That's awesome.
Then like, there's something that's got to be figured out. And I think the thing is none of these politicians have the cojones to do it because they know they need the backing of the different unions. They need it's politics. And politics are a dirty game for that reason, where you just know you need certain support. You need people to have your back. And I think at the end of the day, it's a hard conversation to have, but it's got to be had at some point where we figure out how can we make this more affordable. And someone's going to lose. Someone has to lose because money's getting, if we're going to lower a budget, someone's going to lose their job. It's just how the sausage gets made, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not an elected official. I can't tell you the answer here.
You should be.
You should be. You should go with police station to police station with Jimmy and look at how many cop cars they have.
I'm going to disappear after this podcast. You probably won't see me for a while.
Yeah, the PBA is going to come for you after this.
I'm going to be laying low, boys. No. The government's not going to know where I am.
No, but here's the thing. Like we need high value teachers. We need high value cops. We need high value firefighters. I think
let me just do it all.
Great that people get into these trades and, they're proud of what they do. They work hard. They're skilled professionals. Would you have like a cop you have to be in New Jersey to be a cop. There's a lot of training that goes into that. Like you're not just going to show up and willy nilly. Like some of these states you see, if you watch like a crime documentary, you see some of these cops and like others, you're like, whoa, these, the training is just not there. But in a town like, in any of these towns, it's so competitive that you have to be such a professional. Yeah. I feel like, so yeah, you're getting paid to be a professional, but perhaps we need to become a consolidation station. And Jimmy, when you're my chief of something, you can make that call. All right. So the article basically goes on to just talk about the 3% raise and how it's affecting different counties. And it said nearly a third of the state's counties have already passed the $10,000 mark as the average, being Bergen, Essex, Hunterdon, Monmouth, Morris, Passaic, Somerset, and Union. Essex County homeowners paid an average of $13,448. That's the highest in the state. The average in Bergen and Union topped $12,000. So
what's the lowest? Has to be someone like super south, right?
It didn't say in the article, but it did go on to talk about anchor benefits, which this is confusing to me as well. If you don't know, there's relief programs like Anchor, which allow for eligible homeowners and renters in the state to receive rebates, like $450 rebates, all the way up to $750. There's also the senior freeze reimbursement that allows the senior citizens and disabled people to freeze their property taxes. But that's really the only way around this, the whole property taxes thing. Yeah. There's the senior freeze, and it's just a freeze. It's not a lower. Mm-hmm. And And then there's certain rebates you can potentially get. But a rebate is just them giving you back your money. No, I mean,
pretty much, right?
Yeah, you're getting a rebate from your taxes. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is here. What were you going to say, Josh?
I found it was Cumberland County.
What's the average?
4,800.
What?
Yeah, you want to save some money, move down to Cumberland. Jimmy.
Holy smokes.
Would you recommend us going down to Cumberland or no?
So I know that there's that nuclear power plant down there, and I think that helps offset.
Because no one wants to live next to a nuclear power plant.
Listen, we need more nuclear power plants. I'll say it.
Why?
It's clean energy.
Because it's the cleanest energy available.
Why don't we build some out in the ocean?
The whales, bro. We're gonna get nobody
right
that's
off the
actually
shore,
pretty funny.
so everyone could see it.
I think the issue with nuclear is the PR.
Yeah, it's a bad stigma around it
because we've had a few meltdowns. Just a few meltdowns.
Like the Murph probably wouldn't want to do it.
Like you hear about the names Chernobyl. What was the one in Japan?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Thousand Islands or whatever. Or is that the dressing?
That's the dressing.
Wait, no, there's a nuclear meltdown. Japan. What was it called?
Fukushima.
Well, not so. There's Fukushima. What was the island one? 3 Mile Island, excuse me. The 3 Mile incident was where, though? Is that in America, 3 Mile Island? I don't know. Man, we should know.
Just click on the Wikipedia link.
Yeah, that's a good point, Josh. How'd you figure that out? Oh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Middletown, Pennsylvania. I think I remember when that happened, to be honest. No, just kidding. It's 1979.
Pennsylvania.
I definitely don't remember
what is
that.
going on. So here's the thing. These meltdowns happen, but a lot of times, like if you watch the Chernobyl, there was like a 5-episode movie made a few years ago. Did you watch that?
I started watching on an airplane once, but I stopped.
Crazy.
It looked really good.
Okay, so first off, technology gets better, right? You got to go through through a few meltdowns. It's like relationships. You gotta work out the kinks. You gotta have a few bad ones to find a good one, right? Or anything else, a few jobs. You gotta have a few jobs and you find the one you really like. We have a few nuclear plants burned down before you get the one we were like, this is the system. But I'm joking. But technology has increased so much from the time of the Chernobyl incident that at this point I feel like we gotta have some better tech.
Well, if a meltdown does happen, at least we get to vlog it and you'll see get some good video footage. And that just never mind.
All right, let's move on to the next story here before we lose all our listeners. This is an interesting one, and I have a theory on this. I have a real theory on this.
I agree with you.
Tammy Murphy turned on her husband, Phil Murphy, this week over a gas power plant. So
it's a little drama in the
backstory here.
Context, right? Tammy Murphy, Governor Phil Murphy's wife, is running to replace Bob Menendez, a senator. And this week she came out making a statement contrary to something her husband is in favor of. And this is in the
PR
news.
move, bro.
Yeah, so this is what annoys me. I want the listeners to hear this. This is what annoys me is I feel like politicians just play with us. If you think that Tammy Murphy and Phil Murphy don't have entire groups of lobbyists and organizers and campaign managers around them from their party, helping them to determine how the public is going to receive certain things, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
So to me, this is Tammy Murphy trying to distance herself from the idea that she is a pawn in her husband's pocket.
Interesting.
Trying to say, no. We're married, yes, we love each other, but I have a different voice for the state of New Jersey. I'm coming out against something my husband's doing. It's the only way this makes sense.
Yeah.
They're laughing about this over dinner.
Yeah,
100%,
they're like, can you believe I came out against
everyone's believing this.
Come on. See, here's the thing. The game has changed. Our parents' generation, they'd hear a politician say something and they would just buy it. I don't believe this for a second. I think that politicians think all of us are just little... we're just going to go, do you hear what they said? They're coming out, they're arguing at the Murphy house. Uh-oh, trouble in paradise. No, I don't believe it. I think you guys think...
Trouble in paradise.
You guys think that we are just going to lap up like dogs anything you feed us, and I'm not buying it.
Nope.
And then, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't think Tammy Murphy's going to win the spot.
No. I think
Andy Kim.
Andy was gonna. I thought he destroyed her in the polls.
He has so far.
One of New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy's most controversial projects, a gas-fired power plant inside the state's largest city, has a new critic. His wife, Tammy Murphy, who is running to replace Democratic Senator Bob Menendez, came out against a new plant planned for Newark to provide backup power to a state-run sewer agency that serves much of North Jersey. She said Newark already has 3 gas-fired power plants, plus an incinerator and lots of diesel truck traffic, so the Passaic Valley Sewerage Commission should not build a new plant there. I oppose that PVSC plant, she said at a Tuesday morning press conference where she joined others against the project. This is like, it's theater, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Would you buy this for a second?
I was buying it, dude.
You were I mean, like, I don't know. So her opposition may end up raising more questions than it answers about her role in her husband's administration and as a candidate of her own. Murphy said the remarks on Tuesday were her first public comments about the plant, and she declined to say whether she had discussed the matter with the governor.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they didn't discuss it, guys. They live together, they're married, they're in love, but they have not discussed the power plant. Like, these people are so polished, man. They know what they're doing.
Murphy knows he's done for her, so his wife is just like, you know what, let me just start.
Look, go to a local town meeting for a school board. The board, before they present anything to the town, they're going to have a meeting and discuss every statement they're going to make.
Yeah.
What are we going to say about this? Because people are going to want to know. If you think at the highest levels of state officials in a state like New Jersey, they're not behind the scenes having conversations, how is this going to bode with voters? How are people going to receive this? How is this, they have the poll data. They already know what New Jersey voters are thinking about Tammy Murphy versus, like, they have that. They're paying millions to figure this stuff out. I just feel like we're smarter than this. And I don't know. You're going to bring out a side of me here that I'm not ready to release. But one thing I found kind of interesting is they're saying a big concern for this plant, Tammy's concern, was asthma in Newark, asthma among, kids in Newark. And that's why she says, cleaner, we need cleaner air in Newark. But I just find it to be interesting that she's going against her husband here. Do you know anything about this power plant, Josh Chomick?
I have no idea.
Power plant.
I'm out of the loop in that world, dude.
Yeah.
I really am when it comes to all that kind of stuff. All the energy.
Yeah. So, do we want to get more into the power plant, or is it not super necessary? No. Is the story here more so that Tammy Murphy's coming out against Phil?
That's the story.
Yeah. So here's what I was saying before. To justify her opposition, Tammy Murphy cited childhood asthma rates in Newark, which are far above the national average, as well as the grid upgrades in the area that make more power reliable. She also suggested the federal government could relocate the money for other uses. So, I don't know. You guys make your own calls on this one. To me, it sounds like some politics is happening.
Sounds like some
politics.
Listen, if I'm governor and my wife's running for office and she comes out against me, when we have that next dinner meal, it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be a little awkward.
It's good planning on their end. Really good planning, guys. Gets everyone talking about it.
I think what we could take away from this is that Tammy Murphy is nothing like Phil Murphy.
There's one thing that we can take away from all this. If I had the amount of money that they have, I would not be running for office.
I'd buy land in Montana.
Yeah, dip.
Listen, man, it makes you wonder. If I had Phil Murphy kind of Goldman, he was a Goldman guy, right? Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
If I had Goldman Sachs money, I don't think I'd be in the limelight. I think I would just be, get a nice 4-wheel drive vehicle and just spend every day off-roading.
It sounds like the dream.
And going on the safari at Six Flags.
Yes, you have to hit the safari.
Man. All right, let's move on to this next very creepy and disturbing story. A New Jersey store owner put a camera in the bathroom in order to record workers.
It's got to make sure everyone's working, getting the job done. Apparently.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Oh, my goodness.
No texting in the bathroom.
Yeah.
In and out.
This is creepy. This is very creepy. It says the owner of a clothing store in Ledgewood is facing new charges for putting a camera in the store's restroom to record employees, according to his authorities.
No trust.
Nicholas Zerpoli, 35, of Lincoln Park, faces 15 charges, the Morris County Prosecutor's Office said. Zerpoli is the franchise owner of Plato's Closet, located in the Ledgewood Plaza along Route 46 and Howard Boulevard. The chain buys and sells gently used clothing and shoes from known brands for teenagers and young adults, according to its website. I love how they say it's for the teens. Zerpoli used the camera to record a juvenile female employee and an adult male employee separately using the restroom, according to prosecutors.
Dang.
Then on February 26, 2023, Zerpoli recorded more male and female employees using the bathroom and destroyed the evidence, prosecutors said. Authorities first arrested Zerpoli in December. New charges were announced on Thursday. Zerpoli is now faced with first-degree manufacturing child porn, second-degree filming a child in a prohibited sexual act, third-degree child porn possession, third-degree child endangerment, and fourth-degree evidence tampering, and 10 counts of third-degree invasion of privacy. So he's going to learn today.
I just want to say, like, Plato's Closet.
Yeah.
Sounds like a horror ride at an amusement park. Like, you guys want to go on Plato's Closet? Like, it sounds terrifying.
Yeah. So after his arrest, Zerpoli was taken to Morris County Jail. He had been held there until last week. So
he's released now, though, right?
On February 8th, a judge released him on pre-trial monitoring conditions. So he's going to go to trial. And yeah, I think, it's one thing to record people in private. It's another thing to record minors in private.
Oh, my God.
Both are disturbing. One, in the sight of the law, is probably a little bit worse. These are children. They're under the age of 18, your employees.
What do you think his goal was? Like, was he just actually trying to monitor his workers, not realizing what he was doing?
No, I think it was probably perverted.
Yeah,
I don't think this was
pervert.
I don't think the angle here was he was trying to make sure they weren't, taking too long.
Yeah.
In the bathroom. I think he was probably just being pervy.
It's so creepy.
I don't know why anyone would ever think this is a good idea.
As a father
also
now,
getting away with it. Like, people are just so, I don't know.
I was just going to say, as a father now, of a little 1-year-old, as of 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
If my daughter was working at a shop and I found out the owner was hiding a camera in the bathroom, I think him and I would be sharing a jail cell eventually. Or I would be in jail and I don't know where he'd be.
I would have to hold you back or something.
You'd have to, brother, you'd have to hold me back.
Yeah, I would.
Because Plato's Closet there'd be consequences of some sort.
Yeah, it's disgusting, bro. It's really sad, dude.
Yeah, I think I'd go Jigsaw. Is that what his name was?
Yeah, Saw.
I'd get my own camera and that's terrible, man. Like, imagine the parents of these poor kids. The poor kids alone feeling violated, but then
teens.
Yeah,
your parents finding out. I think it's just it's so weird.
Yeah,
sad.
Plato's Closet. I'm disturbed by the name.
Why?
It sounds like a horror ride.
There's a few of them.
Plato's Closet?
Yeah.
I've never seen Plato's
There's one on Route 1.
So
Plato's Closet. Let's go play in Plato's Closet.
The store's named after was inspired by a Blum son's schoolwork about Plato, who had been an early advocate of recycling. Oh, so Plato was an early advocate of recycling.
It's like Plato's playpen.
Okay, Josh.
You're going down some dark. What happened here with you and Plato, man?
Dude, it's just a scary name, dude. I don't know.
Plato's Closet.
Plato's Closet.
I don't know.
All right.
So let's move on to Gutenberg, New Jersey.
I thought this was in Germany for a second.
Gutenberg. Jimmy, is that how you say it? Gutenberg?
I don't know. I've never even heard of this town.
Gutenberg. You were going to say Gutenberg, and everyone's going to make it's Gutenberg. In Gutenberg, New Jersey, a man was arrested after throwing flour in the air while holding up a sign highlighting the community's drug problem.
So this guy got arrested while trying to expose the drug problem in the town.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Pretending he had cocaine in his hand?
Well, so he's throwing a flower, they believe it was flour, in the air with a sign about drugs being available in the community. And it's hard to see what was going on here, but it seems like he was trying to make a point saying like, hey, it's very open and public. There's a lot of drugs for sale in the area. Like he was doing almost an act.
And like in his sign, it said that there's been arrests in this area for drugs. So it's like the cops know there's a drug issue, but maybe he was arrested because they thought he was on drugs or like he was just out of his mind.
Yeah.
So it's a very confusing story.
So 37-year-old Andrew B. Brand demonstrated these controversial actions, which took place at the intersection of 68th Street and Broadway near a local school at dismissal time. Which is not, that makes sense. You're doing this next to a school.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
I mean,
there's better ways to go about it if you really want to push this.
But I do think performance art is an interesting approach to getting a drug problem sorted out. Brand was seen dispersing a white powdery substance believed to be flour into the air on the roadway and applying it to his face. The centerpiece of his displays was a sign that said, "Cocaine sold here, 19 arrests in 7 months, used in tandem with the powder to mimic drug use." Initially deemed a public disturbance, Brand's acts has since been interpreted by some community members as a stark statement on alleged drug trafficking issues in Guttenberg. The Guttenberg Police Department responded to the additional calls and, after reviewing CCTV footage, apprehended Brand. He now faces charges for disorderly conduct and possession of imitation-controlled dangerous substances, which that's against the law.
What does that mean? That means it's because he's imitating an actual drug.
Yes.
Whoa. Are the police in on this, bro?
The incident has ignited a community debate. Some view Brand's actions as a necessary spotlight on a critical local issue, while others criticize it as a thoughtless act that caused undue alarm, especially among parents and local school officials. So he was also transported to Hoboken University Medical for medical evaluation, which is weird. I want to know what's actually, if someone lives in this area, please call us.
I was reading comments, and apparently there is a big drug problem here. And like,
yeah, but who is he being critical of?
He wants to bring awareness to being like, hey, there's a drug trafficking issue in this town. Let's look into it.
Okay.
And it ended up with him being arrested, thinking he was on drugs. Or something. Maybe he was just like doing it at the wrong place at the wrong time. Who knows? But
it's a weird story.
It is a weird story, and a lot of, like it said, the community is split. Like some people are like, "This is good. He's raising awareness for this problem," but other people are like, "Yeah, it was inappropriate, and it wasn't timed well."
Very strange.
Well, if you look at the photos, it is kind of disturbing. It's like, what is this guy doing?
What he's doing? Yeah, it's definitely inappropriate for just like especially near children. I mean, something weird.
Drug raid 68th Street soon. It's like,
God has spoken, Guttenberg. This guy, he might
be a little out of his mind, but he is bringing awareness to the issue that there is a drug problem.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the local community here and what's going on. And he might just be, maybe this is made up, or maybe it is an issue.
Well, it said there's been 19 arrests, so it's not like in 7 months. So it looks like they keep on.
What does it say? God has spoken, Guttenberg.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's interesting. What's with the snowman? Oh, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. If you're from the area, let us know. Hey, I don't know much about that town.
I think we just need some people to call in to the mailbag, 908-67-99-993.
Leave us some comments.
Leave us a comment on our page so we can know. But hey, guys, that's the end of this week's episode. If you're coming to the Polar Plunge, we cannot wait to see you tomorrow in Seaside Heights. It's going to be amazing.
Don't miss out.
And I'm so excited for this, man.
I can't wait.
Come hang out. Come give us a high five. We're going to chill and jump in the ocean together. It's going to be amazing.
I'm just excited to jump in the ocean with you boys. It's going to be a fun time. I hope everyone comes out. And I'm a little nervous, but we still have a lot of prep to do for it. We have to fix our we have to fix our tent. I just remembered.
Yes.
But yeah, it's going to be a good time, boys.
It's going to be excellent. Hey, everybody, if you're coming, we'll see you there. Otherwise, we'll see you next Friday for another episode of The Garden State. Have an amazing week. Later.
Bye.
You're listening to The Garden State. Dirty Jers.